Okay, so continuing from yesterday. Yesterday we talked about mean, median, mode. Remind me, what's mean? What does that mean? Casey?
You add all the numbers together and divide it by the number.
Absolutely. Add them all together, divide by how many there are. What's another word for mean? Lexi? Average. Okay, we talked about median. What's median? Abby? The middle number or the average of the two middle numbers. What's mode? The one that occurs the most. Can there be more than one mode? Yes. Can there be more than one median? No. Okay? Now, if you were gone yesterday, those notes are on Canvas, so you can copy them down from Canvas, okay? So today, we're going to do the second example. Yesterday, we added the really short person to our class, right? We watched a video about the guy who was 21 and a half inches tall, and he joined our class. What happened to our average when he joined our class? Lexi? It went down, okay? The average went down, not a lot, but it went down because he was significantly shorter. Remember, he only came up to my knees. Okay, today, what if this guy, his name is Paul Tiny Sturgis. Tiny is his nickname because he's not really tiny at all. Okay, he is 7 feet 8 inches tall. So we're going to watch a short little video clip about him. So here we go.
The New York Daily News here at the Cathedral School of St. John the Divine in Morningside Heights. And I'm here with Tiny Sturgis.
Check out this verb.
Oh, man.
Michael, they're your cousins.
Okay, here we go.
Sturgis of the Harlem Globetrotters, the world's tallest basketball player. Tiny, why are you in town?
The Harlem Globetrotters, the whole team is in town this weekend. We play 6 games over the weekend, Friday and Monday. Madison Square Garden, Prudential Center, Izard, all around the area, really. Trying to promote that and get the New York fans to come out and see us play.
Tiny, how tall are you?
7 foot 8.
7 foot 8.
Not so tiny, huh?
Not so tiny. And now I hear a bit of a British accent. Where are you from?
Yeah, I'm from Great Britain. Born and raised. Moved over here to play a little bit of basketball, but still live in the UK now.
So, Tiny, you are recognized by the Guinness Book of World Records as being the tallest basketball player in the world?
I sure am. I was in London in November, was doing some promotional work for the Globetrotters, the tour over there, and got an opportunity to go to the Guinness World Records. Was measured throughout the day and took a little average, and turns out I'm the world's tallest professional basketball player. And it's pretty cool to be recognized for my height for someone like that. And to be in the Guinness World Records doesn't happen to somebody every day, so it's definitely a great honor. I'm not built for this world, but I've adapted to it and I'm using my height for a great thing right now.
What's the best part about being 7 foot 8?
Well, I mean, it's brought me to the opportunity of being a Harlem Globetrotter. I stand up from the crowd. It's a great icebreaker, meeting people. I've met a lot of people throughout my life, and it's all started about my height. So, I mean, I could have gone one of two ways about being different. I could have shied away and done nothing really, or I'm doing what I'm doing now, being out there, having a great time in my life. Enjoying being a Harlem Globetrotter.
All right, Tiny. I used to play a mean game of basketball myself, so
Oh, yeah?
I challenge you to a game to 3 points.
You challenged me.
I challenge you.
That's
And
pretty ambitious, buddy.
It is very ambitious, but I can see your weakness.
I don't think you can.
7 feet 8 inches tall. Now, those of you that watch basketball in Melrose know that we have a basketball player that's 7 feet tall. When I walk next to Isaac Hessian in the hallway, I feel short. Put 8 inches on top of him. Okay? That means if this guy, Tiny Sturgis, was in here, his head would be up by the clock. Okay, the top of the ruler is how tall he is. I can't even reach that high. Imagine the world you live in if you were that tall. There is probably not a doorway, hardly ever, that he can walk through without ducking, right? Tilt his head. Did you notice he's like a little bit hunchback? Probably because he's always like hunched over, because he's so tall. I don't know that I'd want to be that tall. Anybody want to be that tall? Do you really? Well, I don't think I'd want to be that tall. I'm okay with being 5 feet 8 inches. Okay, so yesterday we talked about our original class mean. When we added up all our heights for the people that were here yesterday, we had 1,171 divided by 18, and it was 65.1 inches. That was our average from yesterday. Now, if he's joining the class, let's recalculate the mean when he joins. We'd have to take the 1,171 and we have to add his height to it. He is 92 inches tall. Okay, you guys, what really makes me laugh, could you imagine? The shortest person in 7th grade yesterday was 57 inches tall. The shortest person was 57, that's right here. He's up here. Okay, that's 35 inches taller than the shortest person in 7th grade. 35 inches, that's almost 3 feet taller. That's crazy, okay? So we do 1,171 plus the 92 inches is 1,263, and we have to divide that by what? 19, because he would be the 19th person. Divided by 19, we get 66.5. What happened to the mean? Go ahead, Lexi. It increased. Okay, it went up. Why does it go up? Why did the average go up? Go ahead, Lexi. He's really tall. Would he be considered an outlier? I think so. He's quite a bit taller than anybody else in the room. Okay? Even the tallest person in the room. We didn't get Zach's height yesterday, but I'm guessing, Zach, you're right around 70 inches tall, probably. Okay? He's 22 inches taller than even the tallest person in the room. That's tall. Okay? So, a large outlier, if we have an outlier on the high end, what effect does that have on our data? We would have to say that it increases the mean. Okay, anytime you have a large outlier, it's going to increase it. What happened when we had a low outlier? Decreased it. Okay? The original median, yesterday when we lined up all of our numbers in order from least to greatest and crossed off high-low, our median was 66. If we add him to the class, do you think our median's really going to change? I didn't write down all our data, but our median's not going to change. When we put one number up at the top, it might change it by a little bit, but it's probably going to stay about the same. I'm not going to take the time to write down all the data again like we did yesterday. Okay. How about the mode? Yesterday we said our mode was 66. Is our mode gonna change when we add him? No, there's not multiple people that are 92 inches tall. There's only one. So the mode does not change because there's not multiple of him, okay? So in general, which measure of central tendency is most affected by an outlier? Do you think it's the mean, the median, or the mode? Which one's most affected? The mean, okay? In general, the mean is most affected. Okay, the median and the mode's probably never going to change when you add an outlier. The median might change by just a little bit. The mean is going to be the one that's most affected, right? Your average score in a class, your average grade. If you absolutely fail a test or a project, it's going to bring your grade down. And it could bring it down significantly, okay? All right, so flip the page. And we are going to talk about when we use each measure of central tendency. So tonight on your homework, some of your homework's going to ask you to find mean, median, mode, all that stuff, just reminders, right? Some of it's going to say which measure of central tendency should you use, okay? Now, the mean, we are only going to use the mean or the average if it does not have any outliers. Okay, we just have determined that an outlier really affects the mean. So if there are outliers, we're not going to use the mean. Then we're going to use something different. So we only use that if our data does not have outliers. The median, we use if there is an outlier. Okay, we'll use the median if there is an outlier. The mode. The mode is sometimes not a very good indicator of the center. Because yesterday I gave you a set of data that was 4, 4, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 12. The mode was 4. Is 4 in the center of our data? No. Okay. So the mode oftentimes is not a very good center of data. Okay. But we can use the mode if our data is not numbers. Is it okay to have data that's not numbers? Absolutely. I could survey you all and collect data that's not numbers. I could ask you about your favorite color. That data is not going to be a number. So I'm not going to be able to find the mean or the median, but I could tell the mode. If I asked you all about your favorite color and maybe blue came up the most, I could report the mode, okay? So we're going to use the mode if we're looking at categories instead of numbers. Okay, and then we're going to use the range if we need to show the spread of data. If you want to tell somebody how spread out it is, then we would use the range. Okay, so we're going to look at a couple scenarios, and you guys, I don't want you to find the mean, the median, the mode. I just want you to tell me which one should we use. So number 1, we have competitors receive the following scores for their performance in a gymnastics competition. 9.3, 8.3, 8.5, 9.1, 8.2, 8.9, 0.8, 8.7, 8.8, 8.1, 9.2, 9.0, 8.6. What measure best describes these scores? Do you think we should use the mean, the median, or the mode? What would be best based on that data? What do you think? I wouldn't use the mean because the mean, right, we said if the data set does not have an outlier. This data set definitely has an outlier. Do you notice it? Yeah. So you might have missed it at first, but the outlier is right here. This is an outlier. If you know anything about gymnastics, That's a terrible score. Okay, I don't know what event this might have been on, but if this was beam, that means they fell pretty much on every single skill they were trying to do. The judges might just have felt bad for them and gave them something rather than a 0. Okay, so since that's an outlier, and since there's an outlier, I'm not going to use the mean. Which do we use if there's outliers? The median. So which measure best describes these would be the median. We would want to use the median. Okay, the ages of the parents of the 8th grade class are 37, 39, 35, 44, 40, 40, 39, 34, 49, 41, 42. Should we use the mean, the median, or the mode to describe the ages? This time I would use the mean. Okay, we would use the mean because there are no outliers. We're dealing with numbers and there's no outliers. We would use the mean. Okay, number 3, a survey was done on a group of 20 third graders. They were asked what their favorite color was. The responses were blue, green, green, pink, blue, blue, red, green, pink, pink, green, blue, blue, green, blue, black, pink, blue, red, and black. What measure would best describe that? Mode. Okay, I can't find the mean or the median when we're talking about categories, so we would use the mode because there are categories. It's favorite colors. Okay? Questions there? Okay, flip the page. Then we're going to do a few application problems. How would we apply this? Sometimes, you guys, it's easy to find the mean, median, mode. That's not hard to do. Sometimes we are given. We know we want to get an average of something. You need to figure out what your score is going to be. Okay, especially on your grades, right? Some of you look at your grade and you're like, I got to keep it at an 8. I have one more test. What does my score need to be on that last test so I can stay at an 8? Okay, so in this one, Tyler receives the following scores on his math test. 78, 92, 83, 99. What score does he need on his next test in order to have an average of an 8? What's his current average? Let's figure that out. What's his average right now? Could you figure out his average? How would we find his average? What do we do? Add. Okay, find the mean. So add up those numbers. 78 plus 92 plus 83 plus 99. Currently, it's 352 divided by 4. And his average is 88 right now. Does he want his average to go up or down? Up, right? He wants his average to go up. So tell me about the score on his next test. In order to get his average to go up, what can you tell me about his score on his next test? What does it have to be higher than? Doesn't necessarily have to be higher than 90 to get it to go up. Higher than 88. He has to score higher than 88 to get his average to go up. Now, he doesn't want it to just go up a little bit. He wants it to go up to at least 90. Okay? So we need to get that average to be 90. I want it to equal 90. What do I have to divide by? What am I going to divide by this time? How many scores are there going to be? How many test scores? 5 of them, right? Everybody agree? There's going to be 5 test scores. So something divided by 5 has to be 90. Are we all okay with that? What does that something have to be? What's x? We can solve that equation, can't we? What does x have to be? Anybody? Use your calculator. What is x going to be? What number divided by 5 would give you 90? Okay, careful. 90 divided by 5 might be 18, but we want to know what number divided by 5 would equal 90? Okay? So if we're solving this equation, how do we undo the dividing? Times. We get times by 5, so what do you get, Abby? X equals 450. Is that going to be a score on the test? No. What does 450 represent? What does that mean? 450 is all 5 tests, right? The 4 tests were 352. All 5 of them are 450. So what was the score on his last test? When he only had 4 tests, it added up to 352. 5 tests adds up to 450. What's the score on his last test? Is it 100? 98, right? 450 minus 352 is 98. He would need to get a 98 on his last test to raise his average to 90. Would it be okay if he did better than 98? What if he only got 96? Is that going to be enough? No. If he got 96, would it still raise his average? Yeah, it's just not going to raise it to where he wants it to be. Okay, remember, he wants to get his average to 90. Okay? Questions on that one? Okay, let's look at this one. Haley Bowles scores of 126, 105, and 132. What is the minimum score she must bowl in her next game to increase her average? Find her average. What's her average? Figure that out. Remember to find average. We add them all up and divide by how many there are. So what's her current average? Go ahead. Her current average is 121. It's 363 divided by 3 is 121. What does she need to bowl in her next game to increase her average? Can she bowl a 121? No, if she bowls a 121, her average is going to stay the same. So what does she need to bowl in her next game to increase the average? What do you think? You want it to go up. Any idea? 121 is going to keep it the same. What do you think her score is? Can she bowl a 100? No, her average is going to go down then. What's she gonna bowl? Yeah. Higher. She has to bowl higher than 121. What's the absolute minimum number she has to bowl to make it go up? 122. Her minimum score would have to be 122. That is the absolute minimum. That's the answer. Okay? So that is the lowest score she can get to make her average go up. Because now if I added that score in, 363 plus 122, and divided by 4, I get 121.25. Did her average go up? Yeah. Not by much, but it did. Now, if she scored even higher, would her average go up more? Yeah. Okay, so that is the minimum. All right, last one. What are the possible values for X in the data set 22, 12, 33, 25, and X if the median is 25? Okay, so median means what? What does median mean? We learned yesterday, median is the middle. Okay, so right now I have these numbers, 12, 22, 25, 33, and some number. Okay, there's one more number. 25 is the median. All right, we don't know this number yet, but I know 25 is the median. So if 25 is going to be the median, what could X be? Yeah. Could be 34. What else could it be? Because if I put a 34 here, 25 would still be the middle, right? So it could be 34. Could it be anything else? Could it be 11? If I put 11 down here, would 25 be in the middle? Nope. Okay. So it could be 34. Adam. Could be 43. Yep, it could be 43. Because 25 would still be in the middle. Does it have to be higher than 33? It could be lower than 33. Yeah. Any number higher than 25, right? Because if I put 25 here, is 25 still in the middle? Absolutely. So X has to be greater than or equal to 25. Okay, it could be 500. It could be a really big outlier, but it has to be bigger than 25 to keep 25 in the middle. Questions there? All right. With